Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a pretty radical new educational model. It's one that completely throws out traditional testing, and it's designed specifically for teens who are both autistic and have ADHD, a neurotype that's often called Audhd.
So to kick things off, let's just ask a huge question. What if standardized exams aren't just difficult for some students? What if they're actually fundamentally designed to fail certain minds? Today, we're looking at a model that says, yes, they are, and offers a completely different path forward.
All right, here's the plan. First, we're going to really break down the problem with traditional exams for an ADHD brain. Then we'll get into the solution, this thing called the Dharma dissertation. We'll see how it actually works, look at the foundations that make it all possible, and then finally see what kind of incredible outcome this can lead to.
Okay, let's jump right into part one. We're going to look at why standardized tests aren't just a bad fit, but are actually a deep neurobiological mismatch for ADHD students.
So what you're seeing here is a fundamental conflict. On the one hand, you have what's called the monotropic mind, which is common in AUDHD individuals. Think of it like a laser pointer. It thrives by going super deep into one topic it's passionate about. It builds understanding from the details up. But then you have the standardized exam. It's the total opposite. It's like a strobe light, forcing you to rapidly jump between a bunch of disconnected topics. It's a clash of operating systems right at the brain level.
And this mismatch, it isn't just inefficient. It can actually cause harm. The stress of an exam can literally trigger the brain's fight, flight, or freeze response. And when you're in survival mode, the parts of your brain you need for critical thinking and memory just go offline. So the test isn't just failing to measure their incredible strengths, like creativity and deep problem solving, it's creating an environment that's actively hostile to their nervous system.
Okay, so if that's the problem, and it's a big one, what's the solution?
Well, this next section introduces a completely different way to think about assessment, one built around purpose instead of pressure.
And here it is. It's called the Dharma dissertation. So just forget everything you know about final exams. This is a year-long project. It completely replaces all standardized tests, and it's driven entirely by the students' own passions, their curiosity, and their own sense of purpose.
Now, to really get this, we have to talk about that name, Dharma. It's a powerful concept from Hindu and Buddhist philosophy. It's not just about duty in the way we usually think of it. It's about finding your true, authentic life path, your unique reason for being. So the whole point of this dissertation is to help a student begin that journey of discovery.
So you might be wondering, how on earth do you actually do this? How do you structure a school to support this kind of deep, personal work?
The structure is really brilliant. Students have two main ways of learning. They have their core pods, which are these small, stable groups that stick together for long-term projects. This creates a sense of safety and consistency. But then they also have specialist funnels. These are short, like 4 to 6 weeks, where they can just go all in on a niche topic they're obsessed with. It's the perfect combo. The pods provide safety, and the funnels honor that deep monotropic focus.
And in this system, the student is completely in the driver's seat. They choose their own topics. They're guided by mentors, not lectured at by teachers. And, this is huge, they get to decide how they want to share what they've learned. They can write a paper, sure, but they can also make a podcast, shoot a video, or even draw a comic. This is what's called creative sovereignty. It's about true ownership of their education.
And this quote just nails the whole idea. Assessment is no longer this scary final judgment. It becomes the journey itself. It's a process of discovering who you are, what you're capable of, and how you want to contribute to the world. It's formative, not just a final grade.
But here's the thing. All of this amazing, creative, purpose-driven work, it's impossible. Just absolutely impossible if a student doesn't feel safe and regulated in their own body. So let's look at the foundation that makes it all work.
The entire philosophy is built on this idea right here, the body-mind connection. The school understands that you can't separate learning from physical and emotional well-being. If you look at the core of the model, it all starts with connection to self. The idea is that true learning and growth can only happen when a student's nervous system is healthy and regulated. Everything else flows from that place of inner safety.
So how do they achieve that? It comes down to 3 simple but incredibly powerful daily pillars. First is nature, actually getting skin-to-earth contact, which helps calm the nervous system. Second is movement, using intentional, rhythmic activities to help organize the body and mind. And third is rhythm,
having predictable routines that reduce the mental energy spent on just trying to figure out what's next, freeing it up for actual learning.
So, you put all this together. You ditch the high-stakes exams. You bring in this purpose-driven, somatically supported model. What happens? What's the end game here?
This image just shows it all so perfectly. Look on the left, you've got a system in survival mode. It's fragmented, it's stressed, all its energy is just going to managing perceived threats. But if you follow that path to the right, through stabilization and connection, you get to this integrated, whole self. And from there, something incredible emerges. Metacognitive attunement. That's a fancy way of saying they develop a deep ability to understand themselves and others with clarity and empathy.
You see, this is so much bigger than just getting good grades. This is about changing a person's entire operating system. They literally shift from a life that's organized around avoiding threats and surviving to a life that's organized around their own values, their own passions, and their own needs. It's a move from fear to self-trust.
Ultimately, the Dharma dissertation model forces us to ask some really big questions about education itself, and it leaves us with this final thought. What if we stopped measuring learning with a test score? What would our schools and our kids look like if purpose became the ultimate measure of a successful education?